Please give a warm welcome to our officer, Spencer. Captains of each team come forward so that we can do the honorary background. We'd also like to
Welcome fans to UVU versus Montana Tech. UVU in their black military, first responder, and law enforcement appreciation jerseys. Montana Tech in white. UVU will win the face-off. Take it back into their own corner here. Try to go D-to-D behind the net. Montana Tech intercepts. UVU now carrying it out of their zone. Carry it into the Montana Tech zone here. Dump it in behind the net. Montana Tech able to pick that up. Work it up the wall. UVU now intercepts. Trying to regroup. Work it far side. It gets chipped into the Montana Tech zone. We now have a battle in the corner. UVU now with the puck. Trying to carry it behind the net. Montana Tech, good use of the body to take UVU off that puck. Montana Tech now trying to clear the zone. They will. UVU trying to regroup. Working it back and forth across the ice. UVU is able to get it out of their own zone, and now they're moving up the ice for a dump. Montana Tech will pick that one up behind their own net. UVU applying some pressure. Montana Tech able to keep control. Pass just off the mark. Ends up in UVU hands. They'll try to chip it in. Montana Tech now dumping it into the UVU zone. UVU tries to center off a skate, and we'll have an icing. Face off in the UVU zone. Won by UVU. Trying to work it up the wall. Taken by Montana Tech, but UVU able to get away with that one. They'll dump the puck and chase hard. UVU now with the puck. Tried to center. Squeaks through. UVU going for a regroup now. Montana Tech pressuring hard. That puck is worked out of the zone by Montana Tech, and they will send that one deep into the UVU zone. UVU trying to break it out. Look to the middle. Unable to connect. They'll end up with the puck in their own zone again. UVU trying to run a reverse there, but Montana Tech's able to pick up that puck. Unable to hold the zone though. UVU will come away with it. They enter the Montana Tech zone. UVU loses that puck on entry. Montana Tech now trying to get it up. It'll bounce off a couple skates. Montana Tech still has the puck, but it will end up back with UVU. UVU with a dump. Montana Tech now skating up the ice. UVU is able to stop that drive, but Montana Tech stays with it. They have a man in the middle. He has some time, he shoots. Looks like UVU got a stick on that one. It goes into the corner. Behind the net, UVU tries to break it out. They're able to maintain control. They move it to the middle. And we will have an offsides as UVU enters the Montana Tech zone. Montana Tech wins that face-off. It goes deep into their own zone. They'll work it D to D behind the net, and they'll go right back to the other side. Montana Tech trying to work that puck up the ice. It gets intercepted by UVU. They now try to work it middle, but Montana Tech's there, and they will dump it into the UVU zone. Battling now in the corner. UVU comes away with it, but Montana Tech's there. They look for a man in the middle. Does not connect. UVU now coming the other way. They'll go for a dump and a change. Montana Tech will pick up that puck along the boards. They try to pass it up. UVU to the middle with the puck. Montana Tech with a good stick to stop that play. Puck is sent deep, and now we're battling along the boards. Both teams looking to sneak that puck out of there. UVU is able to get it behind the net. They look for the middle. Montana Tech with a good stick to stop that pass. They'll take it the other way. Montana Tech with a look in front of the net, unable to connect. UVU now trying to work it out of the corner. Good pinch by Montana Tech defender to keep that zone. Montana Tech looks to go to the middle again. UVU is able to intercept that, and they'll skate it up. UVU entering the Montana Tech zone with a shot. Goes high and wide. Montana Tech's goaltender able to cover that one. Face off the Montana Tech zone. UVU wins that. Back to their D-man with a shot. Goes wide. Montana Tech will collect on the wall. High chip out to a Montana Tech man flying. Montana Tech able to pick that one from the corner. UVU battling for it. Trying to get that one out up the boards. Montana Tech has the puck. They shoot. Baxter with the glove save. Face off in the UVU zone. UVU able to win that one. They'll work it behind their own net. Up the ice now, UVU goes. They'll try to pass it to the middle. Does not connect. Montana Tech now has some time in their own zone. They'll try to work it up through the middle. Pass does not connect. UVU collects that puck, and they'll try to regroup. Up the wall it goes. Montana Tech will send it right back to UVU, who passes it to the middle. Unable to keep that one as UVU tries to enter the zone. Montana Tech now battling. Puck will pop out. UVU will come away with it. They're looking to get a man up ice. They will as they enter the zone on a 2-on-2. UVU with a pass to the middle, doesn't connect. Battle behind the net now. UVU picks that one up. They'll move it back into the corner. Montana Tech. Oh, UVU with a look to the middle, does not connect. Another shot from the point there, off a shin pad. Now Montana Tech have an opportunity to carry it the other way. They enter the zone, get past the first man. Makes another move with a shot, goes wide. Montana Tech, another shot from the point, rebound. And off the pad, Montana Tech will put that one in off a rebound. That goal for Montana Tech comes with 12 minutes, 40 seconds left in the period. Montana Tech again with a shot, high and wide. Bounces out, Montana Tech looking for that second chance opportunity. UVU now trying to get it out of their own zone. They'll skate it, and they will dump that puck deep into the Montana Tech zone. Worked behind the net by the Montana Tech goaltender. UVU looking to the point, and it will bounce over a stick. It's now a race for the puck. UVU picks it up, goes D to D. They have some time. They'll look to chip it out. They'll connect, move through the middle, does not work. Montana Tech trying to get that going into the UVU zone. It's back and forth in the neutral zone right now. Montana Tech comes away with it. They'll send it middle. UVU will pick that one up. Battling now in the corner, big hit by Montana Tech to get the puck to the middle. The shot off a pad. Montana Tech again working out of the corner. They'll look weak side again. It gets through, but not able to collect for that shot. Shot from the point. Montana Tech tips just wide of the net. UVU now tips that one out, looking for a clear. One will chase. Montana Tech behind the net. Sends it up. UVU intercepts the pass and will send it back deep. Battling in the corner, UVU has possession. They'll walk it middle. Tries to make a move, doesn't connect. UVU in the middle. They'll shoot off a skate. UVU picks that one back up. They'll look to work it back to the middle. Has some pressure. Unable to keep it, and UVU will send it back into the zone. Montana Tech going the other way. They make a move. They get past him with a shot. Save by Baxter. Face off in the UVU zone. Montana Tech's had a few good opportunities here. And Montana Tech will come away with that one as they're battling in the corner. Good effort there to keep it in the zone. UVU trying to work it out, but Montana Tech's there. They move it D-to-D at the point with a shot. Tipped. Blocker save by Baxter as that one was tipped. UVU working the other way. They'll move it to the side. Shot. Wide. UVU tries to keep the zone. They will have to regroup as they work it middle. Now to the wall for a shot off the pad. Montana Tech able to control that rebound as they carry it out of the zone. UVU able to pick up a loose puck in the neutral zone for a shot off the pad. Montana Tech collects the rebound and they will go the other way. Montana Tech dumping the puck. UVU picking it up in the corner with a hard rim. Montana Tech's there to collect that one. They'll work it into the middle. Battle in the middle with a shot. Blocker saved by Baxter. Montana Tech with another shot. Baxter's able to cover that one. And Montana Tech leads in shots 7-4. They're taking a lot of looks to the middle, taking a lot of shots. UVU is able to win that face-off in their zone. Working it up the wall. Back into the corner. They'll rim it back around to the weak side. Montana Tech is there to stop that. They'll try to work it out of the corner. Does not connect. UVU now had the puck, loses it. Montana Tech skating to the net, to the middle, and loses it. They'll send it back into the UVU zone. UVU able to keep possession, able to clear the zone, and they have a man flying. Unable to connect on that pass. It's now a battle in the corner. Montana Tech comes away with it. Montana Tech will dump that into the UVU zone. Montana Tech with a shot. Goes over the net. They'll collect at the point. UVU with some pressure. Able to get that puck in their corner, but Montana Tech's there. UVU unable to clear the zone. They'll chip it out. Montana Tech now with the puck behind their own net, and it will actually be covered by the Montana Tech goaltender. Face off in the Montana Tech zone. Montana Tech almost comes away with it there, but their goaltender decides he wants to cover that one. And they will reset back at the dot. UVU with a shot from the middle, off a shin pad. Montana Tech going the other way. He makes the move, carries wide. Puck tries to go middle. UVU comes away with it as they skate the other way into the Montana Tech zone. Montana Tech able to get that one out of the corner. UVU now having to regroup. And a missed pass ends up on Montana Tech's stick. They have some time in the middle with a shot from the backhand saved by Baxter. Face off in the UVU zone. One of many we've had this first period. UVU wins behind the net. They'll try to send it up the wall the other way. They do. Missed pass there off the wall, but UVU is still able to pick that one up with a shot. Blocked wide by the Montana Tech goaltender. UVU works at middle for another shot. Good stick by Montana Tech, stopped that shot. Battling in the corner now. Montana Tech comes away with that puck. They're able to work it behind the net and up the wall. They look far side. Goes off a stick. Montana Tech's still able to keep it, but they lose a little bit of momentum along the way. Montana Tech now attacking the net with the puck. They look middle. Wasn't able to connect, and Baxter will cover that puck. Montana Tech with the face-off up to the point. They'll send it deep. Race for the puck. Montana Tech will come away with it. They work it low to the net. Stick from UVU is able to get that one away from the Montana Tech player, but they'll pick it up in the corners. They work it up to the point for a shot, and a tip almost goes in, but just goes wide. Puck bounces out. UVU picks it up. They have a 2-on-1 opportunity. Montana Tech able to send that one away with a stick. UVU with the puck in the corner. They have a little bit of time. Montana Tech has a man without a stick. Puck pops out to the UVU point for a shot. Tipped into the netting. Face-off in the Montana Tech zone. Montana Tech will win that face-off. They'll send it up the boards. Battling now. Puck flies out of the Montana Tech zone. UVU will attempt to regroup here in their own zone. They send it far side. Goes off a player and will go all the way into the corner. But it looks like we'll have an icing. It looked like that one may have hit a UVU player, but the refs will call icing on that one. Face-off, one in the corner. UVU rims it hard around. They're able to pick that one up. They tried to give it to the headman coming out of the zone. Montana Tech picks it up, coming into the zone now with a shot wide. Montana Tech defenseman will keep the zone, but UVU is able to clear. Montana Tech now trying to work it up, but that will be a missed pass and will result in an icing. 5 minutes remain in the period. Shots are 5-9, Montana Tech. UVU wins the faceoff. A miscommunication there causes a turnover coming out of the Montana Tech zone. Puck now in the UVU corner. They have some time. They'll skate it out of their own zone and will attempt to make a move into the Montana Tech zone. They will for a shot. Blocked. And now the puck ends up in the Montana Tech corner. UVU trying to work with it. They'll go middle again. Does not connect. UVU looking for that man in the middle. Yet again, Montana Tech intercepts. Going the other way. Good play by UVU to use the body on that play to stop the Montana Tech rush. Montana Tech now regrouping in their own zone. They'll work it behind the net. D to D. Up the wall. UVU's there. UVU making some moves on the blue, and they look to the net. They have a man open. Unable to connect that pass off the stick of the UVU player. Behind the net now, UVU still has possession. They'll work it back low. Montana Tech is there. They'll try to send it out. UVU picks that one up on the point. UVU making some moves. Send it low. Decide to send it low. UVU has that one up at the point. They'll look for a quick shot, unable to get that one off, and Montana Tech will clear the zone. UVU regroups. They'll look weak side, but Montana Tech has a man there. Unable to keep the puck as UVU sends that one in for a shot and up into the netting, deflected off the Montana Tech goaltender. Battle off the face-off. Montana Tech will come away with it. They send it deep into the UVU zone. Baxter will collect, and he sends it up the wall. Battling now, Montana Tech is able to keep the zone. They look middle, UVU comes away with that one, and they're able to clear the zone, but not able to connect the pass. UVU enters the zone. Thought that one would be, they had a man back door, missed the pass as it was deflected by the Montana Tech goaltender. Montana Tech will take that puck into their own corner. They'll try to work it up the wall. They're able to connect on the breakout. They're going the other way. Montana Tech will send that one to the UVU zone. Battling now in the corner. Montana Tech looks to the middle. UVU's intercepts. They send it out. Pass is missed, but UVU is able to get that puck, and they dump it into the Montana Tech zone for a change. UVU keeping the zone with some light pressure here. Montana Tech setting up a breakout. They'll send it up, and the pass is missed, and we will have an icing. Two minutes remain in the first period. UVU is catching up on the shot count as shots are 9-8 for Montana Tech. Face-off, won by UVU to the point for a shot, gloved down by the Montana Tech goaltender. Montana Tech will win the face-off in their own zone. They'll rim it around to the weak side, where the Montana Tech player will be able to keep that puck. They break it out, coming through the middle with speed. Montana Tech makes some moves and a shot. Stopped by Baxter. Montana Tech able to keep possession. UVU applies some pressure, but Montana Tech has a guy in the corner, and they are able to work that puck out of the corner, look to the middle. Good stick by UVU to stop that pass to the middle. Montana Tech still able to keep possession. Work it up to the point. Back to the half wall for a shot off a Montana Tech player. Montana Tech with some good possession time here in their offensive zone. Shot from the point, saved by Baxter. Montana Tech widening the shot gap as they have some good offensive possession time in the UVU zone. Face off. won by Montana Tech, but UVU is able to get a stick on it. UVU dumping into the Montana Tech zone, stopped behind the net by the Montana Tech goaltender. UVU tries to keep the zone. Montana Tech's able to get past them as they'll work it into the UVU zone. Behind the net now, Montana Tech to the middle. Misses the pass, and the puck will go all the way down as the Montana Tech goaltender will send that one up the wall. UVU with it now. They dump it into the zone and apply some light pressure as the Montana Tech goaltender will cover it. UVU wins the faceoff. Quick shot goes wide. Another shot from the point. Easy glove save for the Montana Tech goaltender. So they'll get another faceoff in the Montana Tech zone with 24 seconds left on the clock. UVU tries to take that one to the net off the faceoff. Montana Tech will come away with it as they rim it hard. Montana Tech has a guy flying. They do not hit him, but they have a man with speed through the middle. He makes a move with a shot and scores. Montana Tech will score. 5-hole as they are able to exit their own zone with some speed on that play. Score is now 2-0 Montana Tech. Face off at center ice. 12.5 seconds left on the clock. UVU able to win that face off. They'll try to send it into the Montana Tech zone. Montana Tech will pick that up and send it out as they send that one deep into the UVU zone, and that'll be the end of the period. Welcome back to the second period of action here. Montana Tech versus UVU. Score is 2-1. Montana Tech. Montana Tech wins the face-off. They'll try to send it through the middle. Off a skate, they'll have to try to regroup once again. They try to send it back up the wall, and UVU will send it off a skate into the bench. And we'll have a face-off at center ice. Battle off the face-off. Montana Tech with it now. And a stoppage of play for a trip. And that'll be on Montana Tech. So we'll have a UVU power play. UVU opting to take that face-off on the left side. Face-off won by UVU up to the point. They'll attempt to set up their power play here as they work it up top. Montana Tech, good pressure on the puck. They'll cause a turnover and send it out of their zone and back into the UVU zone. UVU collects out of their own corner. They'll try to break it out here as they work it up the wall and skate it back into the middle. UVU using their speed into the zone. UVU loses the puck, Montana Tech pressuring. UVU able to keep possession as they work it up top, trying to set up this power play. The shot and a save. Montana Tech's goaltender saved the first shot. UVU able to put it in off a rebound, but the whistle was blown before the UVU player put that one in the net. That is a error by the official that will go in favor of Montana Tech. Looks like the officials are consulting now. We'll see what they decide here. And they will call good goal. Good goal on the play for UVU. Montana Tech player now going to consult with the officiating crew as they go over to the Montana Tech bench to explain this call. Regardless of the whistle, it looked like it would have been a good goal for UVU. Although, once you make a call as an official, you kind of have to stick to your guns, so you often don't see calls like this overturned. But that'll go in favor of UVU on this one, and now we'll be back to 5-on-5. Score is 2-1, Montana Tech. Montana Tech wins that face-off. They try to send it far side. Puck is intercepted by UVU, but is tipped into the bench. Face-off back at center ice. Battle for the puck, ends up on a UVU stick. They'll work it up. Montana Tech able to find a guy through the middle. Montana Tech now into the UVU zone with some numbers. They'll work it around the outside. They'll take a shot. Looks like it was a pass back door. Unable to connect on that pass as UVU gets that out of the zone. UVU now regrouping. They send it weak side. Send it up through the middle. UVU has some speed as they exit the zone with a shot saved by the Montana Tech goaltender. Face off the Montana Tech zone. UVU able to come away with it. They'll work it low into the corner. Montana Tech pressures. UVU helps, is able to collect to the middle. Montana Tech intercepts that pass and will send it out of their own zone. UVU now with the puck will regroup. UVU trying to skate it out of their own zone. They'll look middle, ends up far side as UVU picks up that puck. They look to the middle again for a shot. Unable to hit the net on that one. Montana Tech exiting with some speed. They'll get around the UVU defender. They look back door. UVU gets a stick on it. Unable to connect on that backdoor pass. Montana Tech with a shot from the point off the UVU skate. UVU will chip that one out. Montana Tech collects. Tries to start going the other way. They will enter the zone with the puck. Montana Tech to the middle with a shot. Wide. Puck now along the wall. Both teams battling. UVU able to get it out of the zone. Montana Tech will get that puck and send it up. A little bit of a scramble here in the neutral zone. Montana Tech able to get that into the UVU zone, but UVU comes away with that puck off the walls. They work it weak side and up the ice. Pass does not completely connect. Both teams kind of going back and forth through the neutral zone right now as Montana Tech gets it into the UVU zone. UVU now sends it out. There will be no icing on that play. Montana Tech has some time. Looking for a clean breakout here. They'll try to skate it out. UVU steals the puck, but Montana Tech is able to successfully clear. UVU sends it back into the Montana Tech zone. Montana Tech goaltender rims that one around his own net. Montana Tech tries to chip it out. UVU intercepts, but we'll have a stoppage of play. Looks like we may have some offsetting penalties here. We will have 4-on-4. Looks like we have a cross check on UVU and a rough on Montana Tech. Face-off will be in the Montana Tech zone. And looks like the officials had something to say there. They'll set back up for the face-off here. UVU wins the face-off, but unable to keep the zone. They'll try to chip it up the wall for a battle. UVU regrouping, makes a move, has some speed into the zone, loses it briefly. Montana Tech able to chip that up for a 2-on-1 opportunity. Montana Tech looks back door for a shot. Montana Tech goal. Off the 2-on-1, able to make that pass through the UVU defenseman. is now 3-1 Montana Tech. Montana Tech wins the face-off. They'll skate it out of their own zone. They have some speed. They have some numbers. They'll take a shot. Baxter's able to stop that one as UVU picks it up. UVU trying to set up out of their own zone here. Montana Tech almost gets a piece of that puck. They continue to pressure. UVU trying to skate it out. They'll slow it down for a moment. UVU decides to work it weak side and into the Montana Tech zone. They'll go for a change. Montana Tech now with some time. They'll take the space. Pass it up to the middle. Hits the Montana Tech player's skate and will end up on the UVU stick. UVU now working it weak side into the Montana Tech zone. Battling in the corner. UVU able to maintain possession. They look for a shot, will go wide. Montana Tech intercepts a pass. They'll start going the other way. Looks like we'll have a 3-on-3 opportunity here. Montana Tech loses an edge. UVU trying to push it up ice the other way. Does not have very much speed. And UVU is able to get that into the Montana Tech zone. Good body positioning by the Montana Tech defensemen. So get that puck out of the zone, enter the UVU zone with a little bit of speed. Battling along the wall now. Montana Tech looks weak side. They do not have a man there. But they will come away with that puck. Working it behind the UVU net. They'll look middle for a shot. Saved by Baxter. Montana Tech has the puck. Back up to the point for another shot off a UVU player's skate. Montana Tech picks up that rebound. Another shot by Montana Tech from the point. Another rebound. UVU trying to clear the puck. They will. UVU now enters the zone. They'll take a shot. Montana Tech glove down. Rebound opportunity. And we'll have a penalty on Montana Tech as players were flying into the corner. And we have a UVU player that does not like that play at all. UVU player is still down on hands and knees at the moment. Trainer is on the ice. And it looks like he is getting up. And they will take him over to the bench. That's a good sign that they're taking him to the bench rather than to the locker room in this case. Hopefully the trainer will be able to check him out. He'll be all right here. It looks like we have a 5-minute major. I believe that was for head contact. I didn't see the call though. Boarding, okay. Thank you. I have received information that is a 5-minute major for boarding. I missed the call. I didn't see what he said, but luckily I have some people around me able to see what the call.
Montana Tech penalty to number 3, Luke Benoit. 5-minute major for boarding.
All right, we will have a UVU power play for 5 minutes. Montana Tech wins that faceoff. They clear the zone. UVU is going to try to regroup in their neutral zone here. They'll have to go all the way behind their own net. UVU now taking some space as they carry it up the ice. They'll work it behind the Montana Tech net. Montana Tech with some good pressure, able to clear that puck all the way down to the other end. Montana Tech, some major pressure, able to come away with that puck. UVU able to pick that one up through the middle here now. Montana Tech, more pressure almost causes another turnover there, but UVU is able to pick that one back up. Montana Tech now sends that one all the way down. More pressure on the UVU puck carrier. They'll rim it around and try to set up a breakout here out of their own zone. They'll work it up into the Montana Tech zone, around the net, and up the wall. They'll try to set up a power play here. UVU working it D to D across the blue line. Look middle. Montana Tech collapses, able to stop that play. Now we have a 2-on-2 going the other way. Montana Tech with a shot off the pad of Baxter. UVU picks that one up off the wall. They'll try to send it into the Montana Tech zone. Montana Tech's able to pick that one up. UVU keeps the zone off the Montana Tech clear, but then Montana Tech will send it back down into the UVU zone. UVU setting up their breakout here. They're able to work it middle. They have some time, space. They work it back up top for a shot off the pad. Rebound does not go. Montana Tech pressuring hard on that loose puck. They're able to clear the zone with some hard pressure into the UVU zone here. Montana Tech almost comes away with that as they battle. UVU gets numbers into the battle. Montana Tech still working with that puck as UVU is able to come away with it as they skate it up ice. 3-on-2 now as they enter the zone. UVU a move. Montana Tech stick able to stop that. UVU tries to work it back to the middle. Montana Tech is able to get a stick on that and send it back down the other way. UVU struggling to break it out there. Montana Tech will able to stop UVU at their own blue line. Long pass now. UVU with it. They're able to send it into the Montana Tech zone as there will be a battle in the corner. UVU sends in some numbers to help. Montana Tech now sending in another guy. Montana Tech able to kill some time off that battle as they send it all the way down. And it looks like You'll have a whistle. There may have been a high stick there from UVU. UVU wins the faceoff in their own zone. Missed pass there. Montana Tech's able to pick that one up. But UVU is able to battle back. They'll try to set up a breakout. UVU sends a long pass up ice. Montana Tech player there caused some trouble for UVU, but they're able to enter the zone. Battle along the wall. UVU gets it in the middle for a shot. Deflected high by Montana Tech stick. .42 seconds left in the UVU power play. UVU able to win that face-off up to the point. Working it along the blue line. Now back down along the wall. Behind the Montana Tech net. Montana Tech with a stick able to steal that puck. Unable to clear. UVU a shot blocked by one of their own players. Montana Tech now with a 2-on-1 going the other way. Montana Tech carries it in. Loses the puck there. And UVU able to back check and get some players into position to stop that rush. UVU breaking the puck out. Penalty is now ending for Montana Tech as UVU is able to work the puck into the Montana zone, but Montana Tech sends the puck down. Montana Tech player there. UVU struggling to back check on this play. Montana Tech shot, rebound. Montana Tech gets the puck to the net. Another shot by Montana Tech out of the middle. Another block. Montana Tech shooting from the point. UVU able to get some control over the puck, and they'll rim it hard out of the zone, and the icing will be waived. UVU going for a full change on that play. Montana Tech, a hard rim. They have a player to collect, unable to get it completely. UVU now working out of their own corner. Montana Tech gets that puck to the middle, tries to make a move, pass to the middle. UVU stick stops the play there. Montana Tech from the point, behind the net. Looking for that pass to the middle, unable to connect. Montana Tech another shot, and that one squeaked through the pads but not into the goal. Puck in the corner, both teams battling. Montana Tech comes away with the puck. They'll send it up to the point for a shot. Deflected wide by Baxter. UVU wins the race to the puck, sends it out, but Montana Tech is there to pick that one up. UVU now with the puck in the Montana Tech zone. They'll try to create some space. Unable to. It's Montana Tech now, battling with UVU along the wall. UVU working it up top to the point. A shot wide, gloved down by the Montana Tech goaltender. Face off the Montana Tech zone. UVU picks that one up, looks for a shot. Off the stick of a Montana Tech player, now battling in the corner. Battle continues behind the Montana Tech net. Nice move by the defenseman to create some space. UVU able to hold the blue line there for a shot. They have a player low. Trying to get a shot off there. Back up to the point. Whiffs on the puck, and now Montana Tech going over there for a 3-on-2. Shot saved by Baxter. shot off the face-off. Baxter deflects that one wide. UVU trying to work it up the wall. Montana Tech able to hold the zone. UVU now trying to work it weak side. They're able to get that puck out. UVU now with a one-on-one opportunity. Unable to get past his man. Numbers now in the zone. UVU trying to work it with a shot. Just over the net. UVU sends it back into the zone deep. Puck lost along the blue line there. Montana Tech able to skate that one up with a shot from center ice. Gloved down by Baxter, who will play the puck behind his own net. UVU tries to send that one up quick. Montana Tech able to come away with it. Now skating into the UVU zone. We will have a penalty now on Montana Tech. That'll be a tripping. UVU will have another power play opportunity as the face-off goes down into the Montana Tech zone. UVU's only goal of the night coming off a power play. They were unable to get one on the last 5-minute major. Montana Tech applying some good pressure on their penalty kill. And a helmet comes off the face-off. We'll have a stoppage of play. And the face-off will come out of the zone. UVU wins the face-off. Work it weak side quick and into the Montana Tech zone for a shot. Glove save by the Montana Tech goaltender. Montana Tech wins the face-off. A hard rim. UVU able to keep the zone. Shot from the point off Montana Tech player. Montana Tech now trying to clear the zone. They will. And we'll send it down into the UVU zone. And it looks like, not sure what the call was on that play, but we will have a whistle. Looks like we'll be having a face-off at center ice. Unsure what the call is on that play. May have bounced off of a player on the bench. UVU will set up for a breakout. We'll send it middle. Back down to a trailer. UVU will be able to skate into the Montana Tech zone and set up their power play. UVU working it up top for a shot to the middle. Back door now. Sends it back in front of the net. UVU shot from the middle off Montana Tech player. UVU picks it up again. UVU back up to the slot for another shot tipped wide by a Montana Tech player. UVU collects the puck. They'll work it into the corner to the weak side. Looks like it. And a shot high, very high over the net there. UVU continuing to work it up top. Nice move there by UVU to keep possession. Behind the net now. UVU works it to the side, to the slot. Back over to the wall for a one-timer shot, deflected wide. Back to the slot. UVU looks for a shot. Montana Tech able to get a stick on it. UVU another shot, goes wide. UVU with some good possession time on this power play. UVU working it out of the corner. They'll look to the middle. They'll look back door. Unable to connect. Montana Tech player getting a stick in that lane, able to stop that play. Montana Tech now full strength. UVU lobs one at the net. Puck is sent into the corner. Another shot goes way wide. UVU trying to make a move at their blue line. They keep the puck. Another move, a shot. Deflected wide by the Montana Tech goaltender. UVU continuing to work the puck on their offensive blue line. A miscommunication there, and UVU will have to send it deep. They'll have a man ready to collect. They look middle. The UVU player's stick was lifted, and now Montana Tech will clear their zone, and the puck will go all the way down into the UVU zone. Montana Tech with some good pressure, able to come away with that puck. Montana Tech looks middle, off a skate, and UVU will able to clear their own zone as Montana Tech sends that back into the UVU zone. UVU trying to work it up the wall. They're able to get out of their zone with numbers as they skate into the Montana Tech zone. Montana Tech defenseman able to poke that one away. Montana Tech trying to get that one up ice. UVU able to send that one back into the Montana Tech zone. UVU picks that one up. Batted away by a Montana Tech defender. UVU able to keep the zone off that change. Montana Tech has some time behind their net. They'll try to work it up for a breakout. UVU with a shot. Deflected wide. Montana Tech now skating out of their own zone into the UVU zone. Good body there to stop the rush. UVU will try to chip it up, but now we're battling in the corner. UVU comes away with it. They have numbers up ice for a 3-on-2. It'll now be a 3-on-3. UVU with a shot wide. UVU sends the puck low in the Montana Tech zone. Working it behind the net. UVU looks middle, off a skate and wide. We will have a penalty on the play. Looks like it may have been a holding from what I can see from here. We'll get the official call in just a moment. We'll have another UVU power play with 24 seconds remaining in the period. UVU wins the faceoff. Working it up top. UVU will send that one back low. Looking for a man in the middle. They'll rim it back around. UVU trying to work it off the wall. They look back door. Montana Tech has two sticks in the lane, and we will have the end of the period. Montana Tech leads 3-1.